Broads Media.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome on into Sports Talk with Broads. Danny Briere isn't going to stop. Danny Briere is telling everyone we are open for business and we'll be willing to eat money and we'll be willing to take your first-round draft picks and we'll be willing to get rid of Travis Sanheim's horrible contract that Chuck Fletcher thought would be a genius idea, even though it's one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life because he's so damn overrated and he's not worth it, and I want to see him out of town soon, and Danny would be a magician to get rid of all this crap right now between Kevin Hayes, Sanheim, Tony D, Travis Konechny, Scott Lawton, Carter Hart. The list goes on and on and on. This is going to be crazy. I'm excited because Danny Briere is no joke, and he's doing exactly what he said he would, if not almost doing it louder than anticipated. You can make the argument that there's so much buzz out of the Flyer skate zone that they might need to actually clean it up. There's too much out there. Everyone knows Torrey Krug, no trade clause here, Sanheim here, Tony D here, Hayes here. I thought everybody and their mother knew within seconds. I don't know. It's not easy. At times, I thought maybe Danny B was working the media. But now I wonder if it's way too available. If there's one source that's way too leaky. Because there is also value, and it is a strength to be able to hush when needed. Apparently, the Sanheim thing was hush-hush for a bit of time and then became more public. I don't know. All I know is I think it's fair to say that there's been a lot of noise surrounding the Flyers, and Keith Jones can say that it's not all real or it's not all true. All the news that was being circulated, not all of it was true. Some of it's misguided. I think they're trying to clean things up, put some toothpaste back in the tube, because they're also recognizing that it's way too much of a waterfall right now, and it's too easy to gather information from some of the people inside the Flyers organization. I don't think that that's crazy at all. I can buy that completely. Unless you're living under a rock, what we're hearing as of right now is St. Louis and Philadelphia have been in discussions to send Kevin Hayes and possibly more, including Travis Sanheim, to St. Louis, but Torrey Krug has a no-trade clause. And as of right now, at the time of this recording, he's unwilling to move it. The last I heard, I checked in with some people way closer to the situation than me, and it's possible that he's thinking about it, for whatever that's worth. Elliot Friedman mentioned on 32 Thoughts that a family aspect is very important here. They just had another baby. The kids and the schools and just the living area and everything involved is in play, which makes a lot of sense. If I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't waive a no trade movement clause to come to Philadelphia with where he's at in his career. I want to go win a damn championship. He was in Boston. You know what their message is every year. Let's go hoist the damn Lord Stanley. You go to St. Louis in the time where they win a Stanley Cup. You think, let's go win another one. I want to bring it to this city. He's in the back end of his career, basically, with the rest of his contracts. Do I want to rebuild and be a good professional and then rah-rah the troops when needed to show the way for a Cutter Gauthier Gauthier to show the way for a Michkov that apparently they might go try and grab and make a move possibly up in the draft and maybe get a late first-round draft pick from St. Louis and then move up to go cash in on a Russian prospect that everybody is possibly stoked for. Him, Cutter Gauthier. All right, Krug, teach them how to be an everyday NHLer. Is that really what you want to do? You can make the argument, well, St. Louis already made it apparent that they don't want you. And are you going to win a championship or a title in St. Louis with their current roster? Okay. I see that. Flyers, though, are in strip it down mode. It's so much different. I don't have any problems with him shutting it down, saying, no, thank you. This isn't what I want to do. I don't think it's best for my hockey career. We'll see, though. Maybe it's just Kevin Hayes. Elliot Friedman made it seem, at the worst, it can be just Kevin Hayes. And then Sanheim trade possibilities with other teams. Winnipeg, Toronto. I keep hearing coexisting things out there about Toronto. Did they actually make a phone call? Did they actually check in? I'm hearing conflicting reports. I wouldn't want to touch that contract. I'm surprised with how much buzz is out there for him. He's got an upside. He could be more offensively. Yeah, you wait. I thought the same thing about Rasmus Ristolainen. He was a high pick. He played in Buffalo. Who truly succeeds in that city? They're failures. Jack Eichel leaves, you go wins a championship. There's a lot of talent in Vegas, by the way. I don't want to make it seem like I'm just taking a big leap with Jack Eichel. He went from Buffalo to Vegas, and he was the sole reason why they won, although he was magnificent and was able to do some dirty things. A lot of dirty things. He played a huge role. There's a lot of other great pieces in that town, too. I convinced myself, though, that with Rasmus Ristolainen's size, he could be tough to play against. He could be angry in the corners. He's got a lot of range with his stick on puck. Maybe produce a little offensively, just something. Contribute on that side at times. And now you see reality when you study him and watch him shift by shift. John Tortorella got a lot out of him towards the end. Just think about what you thought he possibly could be, though, when he left Buffalo and when Chuck Fletcher made the trade, because I know for a fact that I thought it could be different here. I thought he was surrounded by hot trash. Then I realized that, well, here in Philadelphia, he was also surrounded by hot trash, but he was a part of that trash. John Tortorella fixed some things. There's still a lot to be done, though. My point is, you watch Travis Sanheim, and maybe you think the same thing. There's no way he's more than what he showed you here. He's been in the league a long time now. He's no pup anymore. Travis Sanheim, going to his games played and how much he's logged in the show, he's almost at 500 games played. He'll be at 500 games played just after this season, depending on where he goes. Maybe there's a playoff push in there. 416 games. Although I guess that's all regular season. That would be all regular season games. There was the bubble year. Am I actually talking about playoff Travis Sanheim as if that means anything? What a joke I am. In the postseason, he has a career 20-game postseason career. -1, -1, -1, -2, -1, +3. +2, +1, even. Logging 21 minutes, 23 minutes, 22 minutes. I don't know how I got to bashing Sanheim. I just think it was a horrible decision to give him a contract as long as Chuck Fletcher gave him that deal for. An 8-year, $50 million extension in October. Oh my God, that was gross. October 13th, 2022, one of the worst days of my life. Travis Sanheim commits to the Philadelphia Flyers for 8 seasons. Let's try and get this out now. I'll do anything. Going back to that Torrey Krug thing real quick. Apparently, John LeClair and Cam Atkinson, and this is also courtesy of Elliot Friedman, apparently they're picking up the phone and speaking with Torrey Krug to try and sell him that this place is okay to be in. The area, the kids. I guess that's why you brought in Johnny LeClair. That's why he's got a spot in your front office. To get the guys to push the buttons on no tradement clauses. Cam Atkinson, too. I forgot all about Cam Atkinson. Poor guy. I actually like Cam. Think he's a great dude. I think he's a pro's pro. But I completely just lost mind of Cam Atkinson. I guess because there's so many things happening right now, it's hard to keep my head on straight. The draft now is upon us. I know they want Michkov. In the beginning, I heard all this noise about him. I looked up his stats, and I see just, okay, I know he's 18 playing in the KHL, but okay. For all this talk and all this praise, I thought the numbers would pop more. Then I started to do more research and study up upon his story and who he is. Amen. Amen. Him and Cutter Gauthier at the top of this organization in just a couple of years. I say just a couple of years, as if the next 3 years won't take time off of my life, but it will. Speaking of time, though, Tony DeAngelo will be traded back to Carolina in just some time. Because of when Chuck Fletcher did what he did to get Tony DeAngelo here, we're going to have to wait for over a year for him to return back to that previous city. That's inevitable too. And it's basically for nothing other than a salary dump. Take him, please. We want a refresh. So they're getting Provorov, they're getting Tony D, they're getting Kevin Hayes out of this locker room. They will trade Scott Lawton if the price is right, but they also think that he brings a lot of the intangibles on how to play in this league and just the way that he goes about his business and his dedication and how he handles himself off the ice. A good dude. He does a lot for this city that sometimes just doesn't get the recognition as much as it probably should. He's been here for a long time. You know, once in a while you look into your city and you wonder how long the longest tenure Eagle is, the longest tenure Flyer is, and then you look at the whole entire city. And you're like, whoa, Scott Lawton's been here since when? His first year was 2012. 2012, it's 11 years. And if he's here again, wow. He played 5 games that season. So he didn't log in a billion games. The following year in 2014, 2015, he played 31 games, had 6 points, scored 2 bingos. 2017-18, he became your full-length season guy. 81 games, 20 points, 10 bingos, getting on the board double-digit times. Then he had 3 straight seasons of that. And in 2020, they only played 49 games. He only played 49 games. 13 goals. I don't know how I got stuck down the rabbit hole of Scott Lawton. This is the thing when it comes to hockey. Because we don't speak about it on a regular basis, and there's not as much day-to-day, at least not in the right now, although maybe with some of the draft stuff we'll be hot in the streets over the next upcoming week or so. I just keep getting sidetracked because there's so much substance here. Because sometimes there's 5 or 6 mini topics I want to share my opinion on outside of the bigger storyline to force me into even making this episode. Hayes, Provorov, Tony D out, wanting to keep locker room presence like Lawton. No surprise. Will Carter Hart be dealt? We have to wait for the Team Canada news to drop on the allegations that are against the World Junior team the year that he was playing in the World Junior tournament. Will TK get moved? At this rate, I think it's going to be more than just the 3 names that are being circulated currently, and I got no issue with it at all. They wanted you to know it's going to be long, it's going to take time, but we have to do it the right way. John Tortorella has his thoughts, and he shares how he feels about a lot of these guys in the franchise and some of the prospects and all of it. And I think he's sharp. I think he does know the game. He might push buttons at times that I don't agree with. He might use the media publicly to take shots at players during a current stretch that sometimes I just deem unreasonable. He's always going the extra mile because he's obsessed with how certain guys respond mentally. He loves that angle of the game, which it is fascinating, don't get me wrong. I think it's fascinating from let's experiment and study as a scientist how psychologically this affects a human going through a professional season. The media coverage, the grind on the body, leaving your family. That's also a part of it. It's an unfortunate part of it, but you go on the road for 6-7 days in a row. You just had a newborn. You just had a baby. Now you're leaving. Now you're coming back. Now you're leaving. Now you got to play and perform. You're in a rough slump. I do think, in a weird way, studying that side of sports is fascinating. I don't think you have to do it if you're the head coach, though. I'm talking about some guy who knows the actual atoms in your brain and gets all into the neuroscience of it all. If I'm not even making sense, God bless you for even making it this long into the show, because I think right now I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Sometimes I feel that way as soon as I hit record, and then I continue to feel that way until I'm finished. What I'm trying to say is I just spit vomit out of my mouth, and I can't appreciate you all enough for embracing it as long as you have, and as long as you do. I had a few of you, thank you so much, reach out via Twitter and DMs saying, Broads, I've been watching you since I was in high school, and I've been watching you since I was a freshman in high school. Now I'm a junior in college. I'm about to graduate. I'm like, oh my holy hell. I've been doing it for this long? I guess so. 2017. Been in the business now for the radio business, maybe 5 years now, 6 years. Blows my mind. You're the greatest. Wouldn't be here without you. That's for sure. Who the hell knows where I'd be? A union electrician, maybe? They make good money. I don't know. Anyway. Good for Danny. I support Danny. Got to clean up some of the leakage. Their head's in the right place, though. And based off of how they're trying to get a third team involved, possibly, that was when maybe Torrey Krug wouldn't have moved the no-trade clause. I don't know where it's at currently. When he wouldn't move it, though, can we get a third team? Can we send him elsewhere where he will move it? That stuff was not happening with Chuck Fletcher. He gave the opposing team a second-round draft pick to get Shane Gostisbehere off the books. And then trade assets to acquire the rights to Tony DeAngelo to sign a right-handed offensive defenseman. It's no knock on Ghost. It's no knock on Tony D. I'm just talking about the logic. You replace Shane Gostisbehere with a very similar style to Shane Gostisbehere. And now you're in a big-time bunch trying to get out of it. I don't think bunch is the word. Once again, I speak vomit, and you all just sit here and listen. You've been here for 20 minutes. I don't make sense. God bless your soul. What will make sense, though, is the Flyers moving forward. And I believe they got their hands on this, and they're moving it in the right direction. And I don't know if they'll take no for an answer. Okay, if it's not St. Louis, Sanheim's coming off the books. Hayes will go to St. Louis. Someone else will go to St. Louis. It'll give us a different package in return. It won't be as splashy. It won't be as sexy. Sanheim, you're going. I just need to find the suitor. We thought we had it. We did it. Who's next? I'm open for business. So it'll get done. What they want to get done, they'll get it done. I think their sense of urgency is flat out right in front of us. Can anybody question their sense of urgency? Absolutely not. It doesn't always work out pretty and as gorgeous as you want. This is a difficult job. I think he's dealing, and I say he, as in Danny Briere, is dealing with adversity on the fly during the trade. If he's going to reach the limit that I think he can reach, which I do have a high ceiling for him, sometimes you got to find a way. Could be with someone else. Could be a different team. Could be that team. Could be LeClaire. I need you, man. Why were you hired? For moments like this, I'm talking about the way I said that. I'm describing Game 7 Stanley Cup on the power play. You're a power play specialist. You have a nasty one-timer, and you can come off the half wall and let it fire. Yes, I'm giving you an Alexander Ovechkin. And it's the power play, Game 7. Why are you here? We paid you in free agency to do this. Score a big one. I'm talking to John LeClaire and him trying to convince a veteran who's been around the game and he's in his early 30s to come here. I'm putting them on the same exact wavelength. I'll leave you with this. We're in good hands. We're in good hands. Can't wait for the draft. We'll see what they do. We'll be speaking soon.